So, good afternoon. Good afternoon. We are back again with another stream. We're pumping out the content this week. International break. Don't slow me down. It speeds me up, baby. And I've got two more shows coming up later on tonight. One of them will be around about 5:30. About 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'll keep you posted on that. It'll probably be 6 o'clock more than anything. And then at 9 o'clock, I've got Grizz coming on, Liverpool fan. Really good chat last time he was on. So we're going to talk about the state of Liverpool right now. And we're going to do that at 9 o'clock tonight. Just waiting on someone to get back to me for 6 o'clock and then we're done. So, yeah, man, make sure you're pumping these likes up. Make sure you subscribe. Big up to everyone who subscribed recently as well. And let's talk about this guy again. Seriously, this is the guy that does his talking on the pitch, apparently. Well, he does a hell of a lot of talking off the pitch. In fact, he actually does more talking off the pitch than he does on the pitch. I just don't understand why every time this guy goes to an international break, he starts hyping. Does it every single time. It's not even funny anymore. Like, I just don't understand what this guy's problem is. Like, mate, you're an average footballer. You're lucky you get played every week. And like, I just don't get it. Let's just delve straight into this. I want to talk about a couple of other things as well, but we'll talk about this first. Obviously, Xhaka got sent off against Burnley after lashing out at his opponents. And this is what he's had to say. He's done this Swiss publication called Blick. I think that's how it's pronounced. Whilst on international duty, he said there are other players who get red cards, but they don't get criticised as much as I do. It doesn't ruin me. I can handle it. And this time I come back stronger, which many people did not expect. Like, two snide little backhanded comments there. Number one, I get criticised more than anybody when I get a red card. And people didn't expect me to come back stronger is the second backhanded one. Why is he saying that? Like, his arrogance is just outstanding. It's mad. It's unbelievable. This guy actually thinks he's better than he is, doesn't he? He really thinks he's good. And he really ain't. And I can't wait until we actually get a proper manager in and bin him. Because his level is Hertha Berlin, which is where he was going before this manager begged him to stay. And I don't understand what our fans see in him. There's a lot of fans that I see that I think he's an outstanding footballer. You know, we've seen all the graphics going around in the last week or so that he's played the last 19 or 20 games or whatever it was, full 90 minutes of each game. He's got an amazing engine. Yeah, that's because he don't go anywhere. He literally stays in the same 20 meters of the pitch. It's not like he's bombing box to box. He sits and hides as basically another centre back or left back and plays the easy passes. What does he bring to our football club? I genuinely do not get it. To come out and say that he gets criticised more than anybody for red cards is an absolute joke. You know, the fact and reality is his attitude is the reason he gets criticised, because he's so arrogant. It is unbelievable. Then when he does stupid stuff, which does happen quite often, pretty much every single game, he gets criticised again. And listen, this is the thing. I don't condone anyone going and ruining him like over his family and kids and stuff. That's disgusting. You shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, but when it comes down to him as a footballer, he's shit. Let's just have that out there. He ain't good enough for Arsenal. He's good enough for Hertha Berlin, which is why they wanted him. Didn't see all these other clubs lining up ready to buy Granit Xhaka, did we? You know, and I just find it hilarious how, you know, when he walked off the pitch, giving it all of that one and cupping his ear and all that against Crystal Palace, you know, telling the crowd, go on, boo me more. Like, he didn't even come out and apologise for that until like 6 days later. And even the apology wasn't even an apology. It was basically making an excuse as to why he done it. And then he goes on international break after that and said that he'd do it again. And I'm like, is this guy taking a mick out of us? Like, real talk. Like, he's in a privileged position of playing for one of the biggest clubs in England and one of the biggest clubs in Europe, albeit we're not one of the best clubs in Europe. We're still a big football club. And he's taking a lot of money every week. And the way he talks about the fan base as a footballer of the club, listen, I sit and cuss our fans. I don't particularly like the way some of our fans go on with lauding mediocrity. But if I was a footballer for Arsenal Football Club, then I'll choose very carefully what I'm about to say, talking about the fans, because these are the fans, my friend, that get you into that position of being on 100 grand a week. Because let's be honest here. We've seen players come and go down this football club that are levels better than this geezer. Levels. Alex Son had people waiting for him after games to abuse him and give him abuse every single week. Alex Son is a better footballer for this football club than this guy will ever be in his life. I genuinely do not understand what the chip on the shoulder is like. I don't get it. Where does it come from? Where is this arrogance of this guy stemmed from? I don't get it. I really don't. Maybe it's the fact that he thinks he's untouchable because he plays every week. Maybe it's the fact that he's on 100 grand a week. Maybe it's the fact that he's the manager's pet, right? And he does pick him every week, and he's a nice guy around the dressing room. Yeah, well, we've got enough cheerleaders in the fan base. We don't need a cheerleader at the football club. You know, I just don't understand his arrogance. And like I said, it's not the first time he's done this. He has snide little digs about us as fans all the time. The reason he gets criticised is because he's not that good. And when you're consistently making error after error after error, in the season that Emery was here, he made 4 errors leading to a goal. One of them was a game against Brighton where he literally kicked the striker and walked off after giving the penalty away like it was absolutely nothing. Just walked off like, what? That game, if we had won it, would have got us top 4. He walked off like it was nothing. That kind of shows you where we're at with this guy. Ever since then, he's played pretty much every single minute of every single game. Very rarely gets subbed, very rarely gets benched, and is a mainstay in this team. And it's no coincidence that since he's been at this football club, we ain't qualified for Champions League. And then he's got the audacity to come out again and say, oh, yeah, well, when other players get red card, they don't get criticised like I do. And I've come back stronger, and people didn't think I would. Well, what do you want, a medal? Your job is to play football. Your job is to play football at a high standard. And every single week, he don't play at a high standard. 2 or 3 good games in a row don't fool me. They might fool others. It don't fool me. This guy is so immobile. It is mad. He's so slow. Like literally, he offers no goals. He offers no key passes. He offers no assists. He offers absolutely nothing to this football team. Yet he gets played every single week, which, listen, ain't his fault. That's down to the managers picking him. Not just Arteta, but Emery and Arsene Wenger as well. But it's so frustrating that when you've got a guy who's not very good at football, playing week in, week out, and then his ego grows to the point where he thinks he's now untouchable and he can just drop a couple of little snide digs in again. Yeah, I'm sorry, not good enough, man. I can't stand him. Yeah, him and Bellerin, they need to go. They need to be the first 2 out the door in the summer, and they're not going to be. Bellerin, perhaps, I don't know, but Granit Xhaka is going to be here for next season, and it wouldn't surprise me if we chuck another new deal at him. I think he's under contract for another 2 seasons after this one. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if he's here next season, has a couple of good games, the fans get all giddy about him, and all of a sudden he's got another deal. You know, like I said, the fact that no clubs were queuing up for him says what we need to know. They were queuing up. Really? No, they weren't. He was linked with Inter Milan. Whoopee. Do you think he'd get in Conte's team? Like, come on. Yeah, he was linked with Atletico. Really? There's no way he would get in Simeone's team. No way. The guy has got nothing about him to get into a top tier team. And sadly, we're not a top tier team, which is probably why he gets in every week. But even so, I expect better than Granit Xhaka at Arsenal. This guy is a liability on the pitch, and he's mouthy off the pitch. And when he came out the other week, after he scored that goal against Chelsea, I think it was, and he said, I'll do my talking on the pitch. What, 1 goal? Well, 1 goal, and all of a sudden you've got that much arrogance. Yeah, it's disgusting. Can't stand him, man. 100 grand a week we play this guy. And he's had 3 or 4 now in the last 12 months of snide little comments, booing when he's being booed, giving it the ear and telling us all to F off, and going on international duty every time and having little backhanded comments at us. It's not acceptable. Yeah, and the club won't do anything about it. You know, the club should be sitting there saying to him, yo, you can't be saying that, mate. But they won't, because they accept that. And I don't know whether he's got something in his contract that says that he has to play every week, but he does play every week. And every single week, it doesn't matter who's partnering him, we look poor in midfield. You know, you could put Danny Ceballos next to him. They just get steamrolled every week. You put Thomas Partey next to him. Thomas Partey looks out of his depth at times and has done since he's been here. At other times, he's looked really good, and so is Xhaka. But the majority of time they've played together, he's hindering Thomas Partey's game because he's chasing around Partey's chasing around, cleaning up Xhaka mistakes. You know, the amount of times this geezer kicks a ball straight out of play, the amount of times he just switches off. If you look at the goal, one of the goals the weekend, no, it wasn't the goal, it was the Souček header, the second one, where he was stretching for it. Granit Xhaka knew he was behind him. He looked and then just got attracted to the ball and just let him run off him. Well, you're supposed to be a top-tier midfielder. You're supposed to be a top midfielder in the Premier League. Come on, turn it in, man. Absolutely embarrassing. Yeah, if you put El Neni next to him, it's weak. Yeah, no movement whatsoever. Yeah, they're just stiff midfielders. It's pathetic, man. And this guy's got so much arrogance. It is embarrassing. And like if he was doing the do's every week and doing bits every week, then yeah, have that arrogance, have that cockiness, come out and say something like that. But to come out and say what he said again on international duty, he's taking the mick. He's taking the mick, and fans accept it. Not many people are going to have seen that, which is why I wanted to do an interview, a video about it, because not many people would have seen Granit Xhaka's comments. A lot of you in the comments before I started the stream were saying, "What's he said now?" Yeah, and it seems like every time he goes on international duty, this guy gets all mouthy. You know, after a win and he scores a goal, he's the first one out. Oh yeah, let's come out and, you know, I'll big myself up in front of the camera. Well, where are you after a loss? The same could be said for Aubameyang as well, by the way. Aubameyang, albeit he doesn't go and cuss us on international duty, Aubameyang after a loss very rarely comes out and shows his face. After a win, oh yeah, I'll take all the love. Yeah, definitely I'll have all of that. Absolutely embarrassing. Anybody who's joined late, firstly slap a like on the video and I'll read out what he said again. He said that he was asked about his red card against Burnley. I don't know why they asked him that, but he was asked about his red card after Burnley. He said, there are other players who get red cards, but they don't get criticised as much as I do. He then said, it doesn't ruin me. I can handle it. Well, obviously not, because you're speaking about it. And this time I came back even stronger, which many people didn't expect me to do. Like, so basically he's saying, yeah, Pepe can do it. He won't get any grief. David Luiz can do it. He won't get as much grief. I get a red card and all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. Well, no, mate. Anyone who gets a red card for doing stupidness is going to get grief. Yeah, and what he did and what Pepe did was stupid. The fact is, in fact, if anything, he got less grief because the manager came out and publicly backed him. He didn't with Pepe. He said on camera, Arteta, it's out of order. You shouldn't have done that. Blah, 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 blah. With Granit Xhaka, he came out and said, well, it shows his character and he wants to win all the time. So what's the difference? Yeah, and then he's trying to make out that, oh, yeah, people didn't expect me to come back and this and that and be better. He's trying to make out he's been better and come back stronger. Really, mate, really. Do you talking on the pitch, yeah? You do more talking on Instagram and on international duty than you do on the pitch. Yeah, real talk. Real talk. This guy, every single international duty. Big up to Tony. He says he has a point. He don't have a point because the manager publicly backed him, whereas he didn't publicly back Pepe. Yeah, for the fans, like the ones I see when Pepe got the red card, he was getting dogs abuse online, the same as Xhaka was. The difference is when Xhaka's telling the fans to fuck off, yeah, and then he gets a red card a season down the road, people are going to have a go at him. You know, been there, done that. You've already told us to piss off once, then given a backhanded apology, which weren't an apology, then said on international duty that, yeah, well, I'd do it again. Like, really? He's lucky he's even at this football club. He's lucky this club's gone soft, because if the club hadn't have gone soft, he would have been binned. But listen, maybe it's just me then, mate. I don't know. But there we go. Let's read some of your comments out. Rickon's not having him. Rickon can't stand. I can't stand him either, mate. Yeah, he sums up everything that's wrong with this football club. Arrogance, think they're better than they are, overpaid, cocky, just everything wrong. Everything wrong. Don't want that type of person at the club, man. I want players like, you know, somebody like Tierney. You make a mistake the other day, I'll cuss you through it. We move, because I know you're only going to do that once or twice a season. You ain't going to do that every single week and then come out and slag the fans off for it. It's a joke, man. Big up to Jericho. Jericho, is that how I pronounce your name? I'm just going to call you Jerry, bruv. Tony Adams would scrap him in the changing rooms if he was still there. Bruv, Tony Adams and Steve Bold pinned up Lee Dixon before North London Derby. It was Lee Dixon's first North London Derby. They gripped him up by the throat and said, you better understand what this fixture means. Yeah, and he went out and had a quality game. But that's the difference. Like, you can't do that anymore. Football's soft now, mate. Yeah, it's soft. Like, you can't do that kind of team management now. You can't do the aggressive management that you could back in them days, because these players get paid more than the manager most of the time. So they're just soft. They think they're bigger than the manager. And that's the problem with it. Football's gone, mate. It's not what it used to be. Yeah, now it's all about all being nice and, oh, you can't shout at each other. I watched it. If you haven't watched it, the open mic that Arsenal dropped of Martin Odegaard. Yeah, go and check it out on their YouTube channel. Martin Odegaard is directing the press for Arsenal Football Club in midfield. Martin Odegaard's telling us, push forward, go left, bang it out there. Dude, Martin Odegaard is more vocal on a football pitch at 20 years old, or 21, whatever he is, than Granit Xhaka. How can that be? The kid's played 13 games. It's mad. It is actually embarrassing how bad that guy is. Yeah, and Martin Odegaard, go and watch it. I watched it 3 times in a row because I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, am I actually watching this kid who's just come into our team orchestrate our midfield and tell players where to go and what to do? When was the last time we see an open mic with Granit Xhaka or Aubameyang? Oh, yeah, you don't. Yeah, because they don't talk on the pitch. Yeah, despite what Xhaka tries to tell us, I do my talking on the pitch. Jesus Christ. No, you don't. Big up to Troy. He gave away a stupid penalty against Spurs 2-2, blamed the strikers for not scoring more. Very good point, That was one where he went sliding in and took Song clean out. And then he did blame the strikers for not scoring. You're right. Spot on. We'd still be in the Champions League if they'd bought Kante instead. There you go. There you go. We would. And this is the thing. How dare you come out and criticize the strikers when you're a dead midfielder? Like, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. You're right. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate that. It's embarrassing. This guy does it all the time. It's not like a one-off thing where he goes on international break and all of a sudden, you know, a quote comes out once every year. It's literally every single international break he goes on, some comment comes out where he's having a backhanded comment against us. Yeah, disgusting, man. Seriously. 100 grand a week. You don't know he's born. He don't know he's born. Unbelievable, man. It's pathetic. They don't talk because they're not leaders. Spot on. Granit Xhaka and Aubameyang are not leaders. Aubameyang is a very good striker. A very good striker. Yeah, I like Aubameyang as a striker. As a footballer, technically, he's not that good. Yeah, he can't dribble. He can't do any skill to get past a man. Yeah, he is what he is. He is a top-class finisher in the box. And we don't play to his strength. So, listen, I cuss Aubameyang when he plays shit. I cussed Aubameyang for turning up late for a team bus. Disgusting. You can't turn up late for a derby. What's that all about? Captain. You're the captain of the club. And you're turning up late for the team bus on derby day. Wow. Yeah, he shouldn't have been in the next 2 games. And then he drops a stinker. So I am going to cuss him. Yeah, I want to see my captain of the club I support turn up and be the best player after doing that. And he was the worst in both of them games, or one of the worst in both of them games. And that's because he's not a captain. We gave him the captain's armband because he's Aubameyang and he's the top player, not or the top goal scorer. That's why we gave it to him. He ain't a captain. Yeah, Granit Xhaka ain't a captain. He was lucky he got given captain's armband. It's pathetic, but because he's the captain of Switzerland, oh, let's give him the captain's armband. What a dog shit footballer. I genuinely cannot understand what anyone looks at Granit Xhaka and sees in terms of being a good footballer. Like I said a minute ago, he don't score, he can't create, he can't dribble, he's so one-footed, it's ridiculous. For a central midfielder to be that one-footed, wow, you're lucky you even made it as a footballer, mate, because you wouldn't have got in any team back in the early 2000s and the late 90s or mid-90s, or even further back. He wouldn't have got in any teams. He's lucky he's playing in the era he's playing in, where you don't have to have any technical ability to make it anymore. Yeah, shocking. Absolutely shocking. Keep smashing the likes up, man. 600 people watching. Messi, Ronaldo and Messi single-handedly won games. Xhaka single-handedly lost us games. 2018 season. He loses us games all the time, bruv. Him and Mustafi were reliability, and he still is. And thank you for that, Anurag. Appreciate it, man. Another comment. We were scared against Watford. What are you scared of? We're 2-0 up at half-time. What were you scared of? I don't get it. I genuinely, the day he goes, man, I can't wait. Do you know, I said this for so many years now, yeah, since Wenger left. Every single one of them Wenger players needs to go. Yeah, every single one of them. And we need to find the manager and get rid of them. The only one that has half a chance of staying at this football club that was signed on Wenger's watch, not the ones that have come through academy or anything like that. Yeah, but the ones that were signed on Wenger's watch, the only one who actually has a chance to stay at this football club is Aubameyang. And that's only because he was here for 4 months before Wenger left. That's it. The rest of them, see ya. Lacazette, bye-bye. Bellerin, bye-bye. Xhaka, bye-bye. El Neni, see ya. It's embarrassing. Rob Holding, bye-bye. I don't know why they're still here. And this is the thing, like, people keep telling me, oh, yeah, but, you know, give this manager money. Give him the money. Give him the money. Back him properly. Why? You think he's going to go out and buy what's required when he's signed up Willian and plays Xhaka every week and plays Bellerin every week? Well, you want to give him more money? Nah. If he wins the Europa, see ya. If he don't, see ya. It's mad. I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. Big up, Debbie. I hope you're well, darling. Smith Rowe and Odegaard, top draw compared to him. Levels. It's not vodka. It's lemonade. I don't like vodka. But yeah, you're right. Levels. I'm going to read them out one more time for everybody who's joined late. Where you been? Like literally 22 minutes deep, mate. Where you been? He said on international duty, and I quote, this is from a Swiss publication. They were asking him about his red card after the Burnley game. I don't know why they would ask him that, but they did. And he said, there are other players who get red cards, but they don't get criticised as much as I do. He then said, it doesn't ruin me. I can handle it. And this time I came back even stronger, which many people didn't expect me to be able to do. Like, come on, mate. Seriously, what an arrogant prick. Can't stand him, man. Literally can't stand him. There's only 155 likes on this video. That's a scandal. That's nearly as bad as Granit Xhaka's midfield play. Let's get it over 250. Let's go, man. Let's go. I'll do another few minutes. Also, I wanted to speak very quickly about Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard. Real Madrid are apparently trying to keep him. This has come out from... let me mute that because I copyright my stream. Where is it? There's a Spanish outlet called Fundamental. They're saying that, I don't know how true this is because we're going to see this go non-stop all summer, I think. But they're saying that Real Madrid, regardless of whether Zidane stays there, are looking to keep him as a long-term midfielder. Obviously, Luka Modric has just signed a new contract, I think. And if he hasn't, he's about to. But he is 35 years old. And he ain't going to be the mainstay of that team for the next 3 years. And they're looking to keep hold of him, apparently. But this flips and flops every single day. Like one day I'll see something where they say, yep, you can have him for 40 million. The next day you see something like that. Conflicting stories. From what I see, Fabrizio tweet out the other day, he said that Arsenal have already started talking to Real Madrid to try and get him back for next season. Me personally, this is just my thought on it. I think we will loan him again next season with an option or an obligation to buy him. If we don't, then he's likely to stay at Madrid because I don't think they'll loan him again. But I think if they are going to loan him out, they will loan him with, and will try and do that deal with an option or an obligation to buy him at the end of next season. I don't see us just going out there this summer and buying him. I don't think we've got the money to go out there and buy him unless we go and sell Maitland-Niles, Willock and Ketia, Laka and a few others. Then we can go and build and get a few more players in. Until we sell some of them players, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Ain't happening. Big up to Spartan. Hope you're good, mate. Can't stand Xhaka, Bellerin and William. Rob Holding's another one. He plays 4 good games in a row. Everyone goes giddy about him. He gets a new contract and then all of a sudden, He don't play again. It's all about. He ain't good enough. He shouldn't be here. David Luiz will be another one. Yeah, might have a couple of good games and has probably been our best centre-back this season. Ain't good enough. Not good enough. Yeah, let's go and get proper centre-backs. Let's go and build a proper team instead of poncing around with Bellerin and Xhaka and Holding and Luiz and Willian. Like, come on, man. Yeah, it's mad. Absolutely mad. Big up to Mark. He says, mad how Xhaka's still here. Totally agree. Totally agree. We should have let this geezer walk and go to Hertha Berlin. We would have had 20-odd million quid in the back pocket. We could have gone and got another midfielder. There's plenty of midfielders out there better than this geezer. Big up to Tinfoil Arsenal. Notice how Xhaka's comments come after he was subbed off against West Ham. Seems to start chatting rubbish when he don't want to hold himself accountable. That's very true. That is very true. Yeah, I forgot he was subbed at the weekend. Very true. This is the problem with him. He's so arrogant, man. He is literally the most arrogant footballer in our team. Like, he rates himself like he's a prime Pirlo. Yeah, when the reality is, you're a fucking prime Charlie Adam. Dog shit. Not good enough, man. And people rate this guy even like as highly as he rates himself. I don't see it. And thank you for that, man. I appreciate that. I genuinely don't get how anyone looks at him and thinks he's a top footballer. I don't get it. Yeah, people can throw the pie charts out all they like. And I've seen them today. Pie chart after pie chart after pie chart. Oh, but his ball progressions. Oh, and this pass it. Bruv, nothing beats the fucking eye test. He's shit. He is absolutely crap. Yeah, not quick enough, not physical enough, no ability, no agility, no right foot. You're playing CM and you ain't got a right foot. Boy, the game's done, mate. It is done. The club's done. If we're going to persist with this geezer next season, expect us to finish where we're finishing this season. Maybe 1 or 2 spots higher if we're lucky. Yeah, because we're going to finish no higher than probably 6th or 7th. We'll be lucky to get 6th if we're honest. I don't think we're going to get higher than 8th this season. I said that at the very start of the season. Yeah, I said if we'd got rid of this manager and brought Hussein Aouar as well as Thomas Partey, then yeah, I think we could build a starting 11 consistently every week that could challenge for top 4. Yeah, but we ain't. And we kept the manager. He might go and get the Europa League. Well done. Take it off of him as soon as he's lifted it and say, see ya, and go and get a Champions League qualified manager. Because this guy in the Champions League is going to be jokes, mate. It's going to be banter. You thought Wenger was banter with the 5-1s 3 in a row, yeah? You ain't seen nothing yet. If this guy qualifies for Champions League via Europe, we're getting slapped. You know, because he ain't good enough. Tactically, Arteta is not as good as people think he is. You know, we've seen that in so many different games this season, and people keep sitting there going, oh, but the second half against West Ham. Yeah, what happened to the first half? We got carved apart by West Ham. David fucking Moyes had his pants down. Literally. Jesse Lingard turned into Jesse Lingardinho. Like, it's embarrassing, man. Seriously. And people are saying that we've improved. What are they watching? You know, we had a manager before and people keep banging on, oh, why'd you keep comparing him to the last manager? Well, I ain't going to compare him to one that was here 2 decades, am I? I'm going to compare him to the one that's had about the same amount of games. And if you compare them, that last manager couldn't utter a word of English, didn't have the players on side, they all down tools, didn't know his best 11, was apparently wide open defensively. This manager's got them all on side working for him, apparently. Is one of the greatest young coaches in world football, according to everyone who loves him off. Can speak English and has tightened the defence. He always improved the defence. Okay, really? So how comes we lost more fucking games then? Like, I don't get it. Oh, yeah, but you shouldn't look at league position. Why? Well, because that don't suit your narrative. Yeah? Oh, but he's won 2 trophies. Same people, if Spurs win the League Cup and say it ain't a proper trophy, we're lauding up the fucking glorified soccer aid in the summer. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. The narrative changes non-stop. It is embarrassing. This guy is out of his depth. He's playing Bellerin week in, week out. Then he's decided, well, actually, no, you're not very good. I'll put Cedric in for 4 games. Then he goes in as, well, actually, I don't fancy either of you now. I'll put Chambers in. Like, get a grip. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's do a few more. Let's do a few more comments. I will be back about 6 o'clock, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And we'll have Grizz Khan, Liverpool fan. Some of you might have seen him on here before. He's part of LFC Day Trippers. He's also part of the Big Six with Turkish. He's quality, man. Love listening to Grizz. We're going to have a talk about Liverpool and what's gone wrong this season. So that'll be at 9 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, I'm just waiting for a reply from someone to see if they're cool for 6. If not, it'll just be me and my ones. So yeah, man. And then tomorrow, I've got Saeed coming on as well. So yeah, while everyone's sleeping, looking for ideas on what to talk about during international break, we're moving it on up, and that's how we're rolling. Arteta is a B-Tech Sam Allardyce. B-Tech Sam Allardyce, you know. Go on, mate. Excuse me. Watching hockey, much better than watching Arsenal under Arteta. Big up my sweetheart, Debbie. Thank you very much, darling. I'll raise my lemonade to you. Thank you for your super sticker, darling. I hope you have a wonderful day. You will have a wonderful day because Arsenal can't ruin it. So there we go. And would you take Maurizio Sarri? No, he didn't want to be in England. He was homesick, man. We can't go down that route again. Imagine Chelsea with the same players that were 7th before Lampard and now are going to come in and finish 3rd. Exactly. And this is what winds me up with it. There's 2 managers I'm looking at in this league, right? That you can sit there. Well, there's more than that, but I'm going to use these 2. There's 2. You cannot argue this. David Moyes finished 16th. He spent less money on 4 players than we spent on Thomas Partey. He's now 2 points off 4th. And if they hadn't bottled that at the weekend, they would have been joint 4th. West Ham. People would have then come out with, oh yeah, but he's not had a game in midweek every week because of the Europa League. And David Moyes' squad consists of 4 goalkeepers, a Towie extra in Mark Noble, our ex-goalkeeper that was shocking, Fabianski. Like, come on, look at our squad and compare it to West Ham's. Then the other manager is Thomas Tuchel, because he took a team that were 10th, I think, when he got the job. 10th. He took them from 10th to top 4, just like that. We were 2 points behind them when he got the job. 8 games later or 9 games later, he's about 8 clear, 9 clear. And people want to sit there and put out a fake table from December to now. That table, everyone's putting it out. All the massive accounts, all the PR accounts, all the big accounts, the Arteta sexuals, they're all loving that table off about, oh, yes, oh, look at this table. Look at the improvement. We're 3rd since December. The table's wrong because we've played more than 12 games since December. We played 16 or 17. Yeah, that table is wrong. That was up until a month ago. If you go and look at the table that these people are putting out, it doesn't show Man City's loss. They lost to Man United. So what? I don't get it. I don't get what people are seeing in this guy. Aston Villa is another one. Spot on. And people are sitting there and say, yeah, but Aston Villa, like, you know, they haven't got Europe either. Bruv, if Aston Villa finished 10th this season, that is a great season for Aston Villa. If Arsenal finished 10th, it's our worst finish for God knows how long. 30 years maybe. 28 years, something like that. I can't remember last time we finished 10th. This guy's taken us from 5th place where he inherited the team. 5th place we finished the season before. He got the job when we were 8th and we were 8 points off a top 4. I see somebody today tweet me say, yeah, but Emery had us in a relegation battle. No, he never. He'd lost 3 games out of 13. How's that relegation? He had us 8 points off 4th after 13 games. So there was 25 games to go. Arteta comes in after Freddie and we ended up more than 8 points off 4th. So in that first bit, he took us backwards. Cool. Fair enough. I accept that. You had the COVID midway through the night. You just got going. You had COVID kick in. I get that. You have now got no excuse in your first full season to have lost 11 games. Yeah. Oh, but we're conceding less. Yeah, we're still losing. We're losing more and conceding less. There's a fundamental issue there, isn't there? Yeah, maybe, just maybe, it's the manager. Madness. Absolute madness. If Arteta was bald in English and didn't sit next to Pep, they wouldn't love him so much. That is so true. If he didn't work with Pep Guardiola, no one would rate him. Yeah, no one would rate him. The guy's got no tactical nous whatsoever, and he's sat next to one of the greats for 4 years. Like, whoever, like, it just winds me up, Troy. Thank you, man. It's just embarrassing. Arteta sexuals get me every time. It's true. Exactly. It's a false table. It's a false table. The table starts in September this season, or the season we're on started in September. And guess what? We were 10th in December, and we're 9th. So who cares? We were top of the table when the league started because we hadn't kicked a ball. In fact, we were top of the table after Fulham. And everyone was getting giddy. Oh, the Brazilian revolution. Oh, we can get top 4. Oh, we're amazing, Mikel. Oh, trust the process, Mikel. Now it's, oh, Stam needs to invest. The players are shit. Really? These are the same players you said could get top 4. It just winds me up. The narrative just changes and changes and changes and changes. The aim of this football club should be go and try and compete for a title every season without fail. It should be compete for the title. If this manager can't do it, you sack him. If the next manager can't do it, you sack him. The next manager can't do it, you sack him. There's nothing wrong with sacking managers. The 3 most successful clubs in the world in the last 15 years are Bayern, Real, and Chelsea, and they've had 43 managers between them in 15 years. So why do we have to have this long-winded process? I couldn't care less about Mikel Arteta's personal career. Care about Arsenal Football Club. Yeah? After he's long gone and been sacked, I would not care less about him. I want him gone. Yeah, he ain't good enough. I don't care about his personal achievements and his career and how well his career could be. I care about Arsenal competing for the best trophies. And at the moment, he's taken us backwards. Sack him. I'm going to do 3 more comments and then I'm going to chill for 2.5 hours. Then I'll be back again. So there we go. Exactly. Facts. I couldn't care less about Arteta. He's a paid employee at a football club. Like, who cares? Arteta needs Sheffield United. Could you imagine him trying to play inverted right backs at Sheffield United? Jesus Christ. It's mad. I'm amazed Barcelona won him. They don't. It's just his PR team putting it out there, mate. The same as when he was twerking for PSG yesterday. Oh, yes, I love Paris. When I played at Paris, I didn't even know he played for PSG. I didn't even know he played for him. It was a long time ago. But this is what it is. It's all. I don't know what it is about Mikel Arteta, but it just seems that nobody can cuss him. Nobody's allowed to say anything bad against Mikel. Why? Why do the media all love him? Why do the majority of the fans think he's doing a fantastic job, yet 5th weren't good enough for Emery? This guy's form, the next 2 games, he needs to get 13 points, which is impossible, out of the next 2 games to equal Unai Emery's first 51 game point tally. Ain't happening. But we all wanted Emery sacked because he was deemed not good enough for finishing 5th in Europa League final. If this geezer finished 5th in Europa League final and lost, they'd want a statue. I don't get it. Oh, but we need to stop hiring and firing. No, we don't. You keep hiring and firing until you find the one that wins you a title. Ain't rocket science. All the biggest and best clubs in world football hire and fire until they get it right. Look how many managers Man City have had. Look how many managers Chelsea have had. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. Yeah, all the best clubs in the world sack managers until they get the right manager. Man said, Lee, you're arrogant. I'm as arrogant as Granit Xhaka, my friend. I am arrogant because I expect the best from my club. I don't deal with mediocrity, mate. So yeah, I am arrogant. I'm blunt. I'm rude. I'm cocky. I'm everything you want me to be, mate. But guess what? I've got more passion in my little toe than the majority of our fan base have in their whole bodies because they couldn't care less. As long as Mikel Arteta's all right and Mikel's the man and Mikel, fuck Mikel Arteta, can't stand him. Yeah, and the quicker he gets potted, the better. Yeah, because then we might actually move forward. I've seen Man United fans all jumping on Ollie out, Ollie out, Ollie out. Because guess what? The standards of their club are also in the gutter. Yeah, laughing and joking over being second. That's not Man United. That's not Man United. But I've said this a million times before. I've grown up seeing us win so many trophies. Why should I lower my standards to be 4th or 5th or 6th? Like 10th. Why? I've seen us win 5 league titles, 9 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, a Cup Winners' Cup, doubles, invincibles. I've seen us lose multiple finals. Why should I lower my standards? We should be competing for the top honours, mate. Yeah, people say it don't happen overnight. Well, it does if you go and get the right manager. Antonio Conte makes it happen overnight at every club he goes to. Juve, Chelsea, Inter. In fact, in his first season last season, he finished 1 point off of Juve and lost the Europa League final. So if he can make it happen overnight, why can't we? I don't get it. Man said, is that water or vodka? Bro, I don't like vodka. It's lemonade. It's gone a bit flat, but it's lemonade. I don't like vodka. It's disgusting. But there we go. Right. Couple more. And then I'm going to go. Because I was only going to do 20 minutes. I've done 40. Arteta played with Ronaldinho, one of the GOATs, yet he rates Xhaka. Sums it all up, really. Dan, spot on. Man's been the cone man for some of the best players in the league over the last 10 years. And he rates Bellerin. Like, come on. Big up my guy, man. Appreciate that donation. Thank you, mate. Big up to Mellow TV. If Arteta was at Man City, he would have been sacked. Exactly. Every time I speak to a Man City fan, they all laud him up. Yeah, which is cool. I get it. Every time I say to him, would you have him as manager? Oh, no, I wouldn't have him as manager. Because that's where their standards are. My standards compete for titles. If he wins the Europa League, thank you very much. Shake your hand. See ya. Now go and get a Champions League qualified manager that's a top draw manager. And people are saying, oh, but do you trust this board to make the right choice on next manager? Well, you're all trusting it with a process. So what's the difference? Do you trust this board, to give him the money? Well, you don't need money. We've got money within the squad. Yeah, we could get rid of Lacazette for 20 million, Eddie for 15, Willock for 10, Maitland-Niles for 15, Bellerin for 20, Xhaka for 20. All of a sudden, that goes and gets you 2 or 3 proper footballers. Yeah, then if you want to give us another bit of money, then we can go and get another 2. All of a sudden, you've overhauled all the shit out of our squad. Holding's another one. Get rid of Luiz, send him back. Keep Odegaard if you want to keep him. Go and get a left-back back up. Go and get Lamptey. Go and get Basuma. These players are not stupidly high priced. Tariq Lamptey and Basuma would cost probably 65 million, maybe 70 million. You'd get that for selling 3 or 4 of the fucking shit in the squad. Yeah. Then if you want to go and get a proper striker, you're looking at 50 million. We'll get rid of Lacazette and give us 30 million on top. And now you go and get a proper striker. Now you play Martinelli. Now you play Saka, Smith Rowe. You can keep Odegaard. You go and get Lamptey and Basuma. All of a sudden, we're looking like a proper outfit. You bring Saliba back. You bring Guendouzi back if you want. Keep him as a squad player. Start him in some of the lesser games if you want. It really isn't difficult. But pinning our hopes on Granit Xhaka and Bellerin. Sorry. It's done. We're done. And on that bombshell, I am done. So I'm going to get myself out of here. Make sure you smash the likes through the roof if you haven't already. We are on 246. 54 people. Slap the like button now. I would appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed. I will be back again at 6 o'clock, 2.5 hours from now. Like I said, I'm trying to get somebody on at 6 o'clock. If they can't do it, I'm doing it myself. 9 o'clock, I've got Grizz coming on. Like I said, you might have seen him from the Top 6 show with Turkish, and he is on LFC Day Trippers. Quality bloke, man. We're going to talk about football, Liverpool especially, and he's going to tell me what's going on at Liverpool. So, yeah, man, make sure you check that out at 9 o'clock. And then tomorrow, 9 o'clock, I've got Saeed on. I'm waiting for someone to come back to me for 5 o'clock tomorrow as well. But I'll be back again at 2 o'clock tomorrow as well. So 3 a day all through international break now. And yeah, man, thank you very much to everybody who's liked, shared, donated, everything. Appreciate it. And I'll see you again at 6 o'clock.